Hey guys, so a Facebook page that I normally uh, traverse is something called Debunking Denialism. It's a pretty decent page. It's one of those pages with skeptics who try to argue against pseudoscience and people who are anti-intellectual and stuff like that. So it's kind of disheartening when he says stuff that is anti-intellectual himself. For instance, he, posted something by the sci-fi author Douglas Adams about, you know, not all opinions being good. I'm I'm paraphrasing. That's not how it's actually stated. And everyone was putting comments about what they thought of opinions and this and that. And I wanted to point up a nerdy, pedantic point, which is, every opinion is either true or false. I say even if it's not true, it's then it's false. And he disagreed, said, well, if opinion doesn't have any relevance to reality, then it's neither true nor false. I'm like, you're supposed to be promoting reason. How don't you understand basic logic? The most fundamental law of logic is the principle of bivalence, which can be stated as such for every declarative sentence or, assertion or statement, whatever, that expresses a proposition. That declarative sentence has exactly one truth value, either true or false. This presupposes every other law of logic, including the principle of identity, the principle of the excluded middle, the principle of non-contradiction, as well as the principles of reason and all the other things that you expected to learn in symbolic logic. Okay. And I gave the example of colorless green ideas sleep furiously, a pet sentence of Noam Chomsky, which shows a grammatically correct sentence, but which is semantically just gibberish. Uh, that sentence would simply be false, okay? It's still the case that it's not true, therefore it is false. There's no getting around that. Now, even if you want to talk about fuzzy logic or multi-valued logic or quantum logic, you don't defeat it. Second order logic presupposes first order logic. So if you don't want to deal with the categories of true and false, you're still dealing with two categories, true and everything that isn't true. So you can put in that other category somewhat true, somewhat false, mostly true, mostly false, maybe true, maybe false, whatever. And then the former category is true. The law of bivalence is tantamount to the very notion of truth itself. So you're not getting around it. Now it can be debatable whether it's necessary in second order calculus, but for our purposes and for first order calculus, principle of bivalence is the law, okay? And I would think someone promoting reason and the defeat of pseudoscience would understand something like that. But a lot of people don't, and especially in the skeptics community, it's easy to tell which people actually have a foundation in logic and philosophy and whom don't, because the ones who don't often say silly stuff. Neil deGrasse Tyson. But the folks who do have a background in philosophy usually make better arguments, more rational arguments. And this guy wasn't one of them. So if if people want to get into contest about what they think about opinions, just remember opinions are just another statement. When you're talking about statements of fact or statements of opinion, these statements are either true or false because they express a proposition which has exactly one truth value, true or false. All right. If you guys like nerdy stuff like this, I will, make some more. I like to, flex my nerdiness every little bit, every once in a while. Okay. So I'll talk with you guys later.